Hello, everybody, and welcome to another chaotic live stream. I thought, you know what, it's normally just me starting these, so why not start it with little Charlie Bear? I love you. Oh, thank you so much. So thank you so much for being here, guys. Charlie gets really excited by live streams now, so I thought we'll start with him. We'll see how the day goes. Baby! You're such an excited little baby, aren't you? Hi, everybody in the chat. Hello, patrons and channel members. Appreciate you guys being here for this show. Baby! What are you saying? Whatcha? I love you, baby. He's very, very excited. Oh my goodness, shall it just be the Charlie show? I love you too. Right, you're very distracting, I tell you. I hope you're enjoying this Charlie just rambling. Are you funny boy? Right, anyway, let's try and... Should we have some kind of structure to this? What do you think? Thank you very much. Okay, so hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for another live stream. I appreciate you all being here today. As usual, the live stream will be a mixture of kind of Q&As and stuff. If anyone has any questions, thank you for the kisses. I know, baby. And just having a little chat and stuff. I can give you an update on how the birds are doing and things like that. You are just non-stop talking. Baby. Thank you very much. And yeah, just kind of hanging out and stuff. So what should we start with? Thank you, Moonlight, for joining into your first live. Yeah, birdie. Let's talk about how the flock are doing to start off with. So let's start with Chip and Fish. They are doing well. Chip is going through a really rough molt at the moment. He's looking really sorry for himself. He's quite tired, but that's just one of the things that happens. They just have a rough molt sometimes, and that's just the way it is. We're supplementing with extra protein and energy sources, keeping his activity levels a little bit lower than normal, just to make sure that he is feeling happy, and he is. He's singing and stuff like that, but he's just noticeably a bit tired. So yeah, that's Chip basically. He's lost almost all of his crest feathers, bless him, so he's looking a bit strange, but it's okay, it's fine. They're going to grow back all beautiful as normal. Fish is doing really well. He's sassy as ever. One of his favorite things to do is just to go on the floor and roam around and just like bonk everything and thrap it and that kind of stuff. It's really funny. He just absolutely loves it. He marches with such purpose. So they're doing really well. As you can see, we've kind of changed up the room a little bit. What's Charlie doing? Being cheeky. Changed up the room a little bit. So Charlie is now next to the conures. I think I mentioned that in the last live stream, that we are changing things around because we noticed that Charlie really wanted to be around the conures. So that's working really well. Thanks everyone for joining in, by the way. Charlie, do you want to come and actually join us instead of just doing your own thing? Charlie, you come in your own time? Charlie Bear, bear with us. Come on in. Charlie. Perfect bird train here. You coming? What's this? Yeah, I have to see the snack first, of course. We don't work for free. Charlie's doing really well. As you can hear from the start of the live stream, he is very, very vocal. We're hearing more and more noises and words coming out, so I'm sure he'll pick up lots of words as he settles more here. But he's doing really well. He's a big fan of me, less so of David, but we're working on that, and that's okay. It's just one of those things. We'll work through it. Yeah, love you, baby. But yeah, he's a very, very sweet boy. He's doing so well. In terms of his bonding with Olive, I know that a lot of people are really interested to know what's going to happen with that. The next Patreon exclusive episode of Charlie and Olive's bonding is going up tomorrow, and it's one not to miss. I'm not going to, yeah, I know. I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything like that. But it is an episode I think a lot of people will want to watch. So if you're not a patron already, links always in the description on the channel page, all that kind of stuff. I know, baby. Yeah, I agree. Charlie says you should watch. So if you'd like to sign up to Patreon, all the info will be on my Patreon page. And you can watch the next exclusive episode of Charlie and Olive's bonding. So I'm not going to give away any spoilers on this. Olive is doing really well. She's hormonal at the moment, as are many of the birds because it's that season. So we are managing that, but she has her usual cuddly self, little baby Olive. Then who've got Pickles and Scampy. Pickles is very cuddly at the moment. She always is, but she's just an absolute dream. She's not like other conures. She is a special girl. She is so gentle and lovely to humans. To other conures, she's not a huge fan. So it's amazing that we found a companion with Scampy because I love you too. It's amazing that we found another companion in Scampy for her because she doesn't always really like other birds. She doesn't mind chip and fish, but not too close. So the fact that she has Scampy as her soulmate is really nice. So that's awesome. Scampy, a lot of the birds are kind of like trickling into their molt now. Charlie's not molting, but most of the other birds are. Baby. And I'm glad about that because he and Pickles were quite hormonal a little while ago, and we caught them doing some naughty business. She kind of messed up his feathers and they went a bit gross looking, which is not ideal. So I'm really glad that he's molting those feathers out and he's going to look nice and green soon because he looks a bit haggard at the moment, my little Scampy man. But he's doing really well. He's just can't stop him flying. He just loves flying around. He's obsessed with David at the moment, which is really nice. He's being a bit of a daddy's boy. And they insist on waking him up in the morning because I'm usually up at the crack of dawn because of these cheeky birds. And David sleeps in. And then when they know that he's kind of waking up and stuff like that, they insist on going in to go and wake him up and crawl all over the bed and stuff like that. And then they just don't leave him alone until he kind of gets ready for the day. So I think that's quite funny. He's turning into a bit of a daddy's baby. Then we've got Lou and Kip. Louis is just cheeky. Louis gets away with anything, and he's learnt to say Alexa, so that's always fun. So now a few of our birds say that, so I'm sure they'll be ordering all the bird seed before long, and who knows what deliveries we'll get thanks to Louis. Kipling is being his usual Kipling. We're doing some training with him and David to get them in a better position relationship wise, because the crimson bellies we have are just more geared towards me than David, and we're just doing some work to kind of sort that out really. So that's kind of where he's at. He's being quite sweet with me when he wants to be. I think Charlie's going in for a drink back there. Would you like a drink? Do you want me to help you? Kipling's just, I call him Smushy Man, because when he's really in the mood for his pets, his little cheeks go out and he's like, oh, this is nice, and lets me go under his chin and stuff like that. So that's really cute. I think I'm just going to get Charlie's drink for him because it looks like that's what he's asking for, even though he could easily take himself in. But again, these birds just train us. So bear with me a second. Right then, Charlie Bear, what do you want? Is this what you want? I should have brought one in with me, really. You come in. Yeah. Should we show everyone you're having a big drink? Should we show everyone having a big drink? Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so smart. What a big slurp you're doing. Oh, he's so clever. My goodness. Silly. Your Charlie is a good boy, isn't he? Charlie. You are a good boy. Big thirsty man. Isn't he? Oh. Is it funny? Is it an ice drinky? Is that water superb? Let's put that down there and then you can have that afterwards. So guys, remember, if you do have any questions for me about the flock or just anything, drop them down in the chat. I will do my very best to answer everything. Or maybe Charlie will answer. He really does have me wrapped around his little feet. He is so funny. Oh, let's not go on the keyboard. Do you want to come here? I won't lie, I'm a bit of a sucker for talking birds. I mean, it was never, ever something that we had as a criteria for any of the birds that we have, because I just want my birds to be happy and healthy. And if they talk, then that's awesome. I've always, this is really like sad, but I've always wanted a bird to say I love you. I know that they don't know what it means, but he does say I love you all the time. He says it first thing when I come in to wake them up in the morning, and it's endearing. It makes me feel wanted. So, yeah, I'm a sucker for a talking bird. So you are a funny boy, aren't you, Charlie Bear? Thank you very much for the kisses. I don't know how long I have him out for because he's just so distracting. But he is just absolutely full of beans. He's a lot more gentle than Kipling, but he definitely shares some of these chaotic crimson belly traits. We do say that crimson bellies are very much like mini cockatoos. Like what you're seeing now is really nice, but there are kind of behavioural traits of crimson bellies that not everyone is right for, because they can be very snap decision-y, chaotic. Their bite force is so much harder than a green cheek. It's surprising, really. They've got a real stocky beak, and there are just lots of things that, yeah, they're just very different. David's got a crimson belly video coming out soon. We have loads of crimson belly content planned, as with many things for this channel. I've got so many videos that I want to, you're helping yourself to treats. But so many things that I want to film, and there's just not enough hours in the day. And then, as you can tell from this live stream, if the birds start kicking off, because we don't have a studio or anything like that, this is just where we live until we actually get some more YouTube views. It can be a challenge to get stuff filmed sometimes. So apparently Olive's going to kick off now. Everyone's just going to kick off. So yeah, we've got lots and lots of content planned. It's all very exciting, but it's a case of trying to fit it in when the birds are quiet, when the lighting isn't weird, because we can't really rely on like studio lighting. David's thinking of getting like a ring light, which will work for him, that's fine. But with my glasses and the fact they're so thick, because I'm visually impaired, if you guys didn't know already, I mean, it's kind of a giveaway, isn't it? But I can't use things like ring lights because they make such a weird like glare on my glasses. I have to rely on natural light, but from a certain angle. It's not very flattering, but then, you know, it's just the way it is. So if it's a really gloomy day, if it's a really bright day, joys of being a YouTuber, isn't it? Excuse you. And as you can see, Charlie is now getting overstimulated. I'm going to show you what's happening here, because I'm not going to hide it. He's probably going to stop doing it now. He always biting my fingers there. He is getting very excited by me talking. And that is something that's important to note, actually, with, I know, you are King Charlie. Off to go and see Olive. And that's something that's important to know with crimson bellies, is they can get overstimulated just like that. The click of the fingers, they can go from being smushy and cuddly to, I'm overstimulated and I could bite you at any second type thing. So that's really important to remember with crimson bellies. There's a real trend with crimson bellies at the moment. And as we say a lot, we're not like keeping crimson bellies. It's not like we can have them and nobody else, but they're not the right bird for a lot of people just because they're not what they seem. And that's why we've got a lot of crimson belly content coming up. But we love our two. Don't get me wrong, they are wonderful. Little King Charlie there is lovely boy. He's just being cheeky with Olive there. But yeah, they're an interesting species, that we say. Let me have a quick look at the chat, because I've just been rambling and Charlie is so distracting. Cheeky man. Right, so hormonal birds and clamp biting. Yeah, it is the season for that sort of behaviour. Obviously, we want to get to a point where our birds don't bite us in the first place. So if we see that they're getting hormonal, overstimulated, that kind of thing, it's better for them to maybe have some independent playtime, engage time, that sort of thing, so it doesn't get to the point where they're so heightened and overstimulated that they end up taking it out on us. If they do clamp bite, it's the same principle as any bite from a bird, is you have to get them somewhere neutral, even if they are still attached to you. Set them down, ignore them for 5 seconds, and then give them an opportunity to earn reinforcement, because we don't just want to give them like a timeout and that kind of thing and then just end the interaction, because it's going to lead to a lot of frustration and that kind of thing. So we always want to just be neutral for 5 seconds in a neutral area, so they understand that when I bite, the fun stops, but it's not a punishment as such. The fun just stops, nothing happens. But then when I am calm and I'm relaxed, that's when I have an opportunity to earn reinforcement. So I know all too well the joys of clamp biting. It's not fun, but again, we try our very best to mitigate hormones, and unfortunately, it's that kind of time of year for a lot of birds, and we just have to really try our very best. I do have my hormones video. If you guys haven't seen it, I may do an updated one, because that's from quite a long time ago. I think a lot of videos that I really like that I've done from a long time ago, so I may just kind of do an updated one, because the camera quality was horrendous as well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I totally understand hormones. It's a tricky time of year for sure. Thank you for binging on our videos, Carrie. Appreciate that. And congratulations on your new cockatiel. Always a joy. We do love our cockatiels. I know we're kind of overrun by conures here, but we do love our cockatiels. I don't know if I'd want more than 2 necessarily, because again, cockatiels seem like a simple bird, but when you add like night frights into things, it's really stressful. Like, I used to be quite a deep sleeper. I used to sleep really well. And now that we've got cockatiels that have the potential to have a night fright, someone could cough down the road and I'm awake, like, because I'm really worried that they're gonna have a night fright. So I'm a really, really light sleeper now. So that's not fun. So I don't know if I could cope with more cockatiels, but they're happy. They're 2 little brothers. They love each other's company, and that's awesome. As we kind of said before, like, if we ever get any more YouTube videos, YouTube views, shall I say, if we ever get any more YouTube views, because YouTube is kind of like shadow banning a lot of our content at the moment for some reason, I don't know why. We would love to move somewhere bigger, because our next species on our list of ones to add to our flock will be budgies, and there's such a huge need for budgie content as well. Not that that's why we'd get them, but we've wanted budgies for a while. But that will be our next kind of addition to the flock, which will be really exciting, because David's had budgies before. I've worked with them in professional settings, but I've not lived with them. So that will be really fun. But that's a really massive tangent. Let's go back to the chat. Andrew, I've watched several of your parrot nutrition videos, but I'm left wondering what ratio of foods to provide. Would you recommend a certain percentage of diet for seeds, veggies, and grains? So typically speaking, for your morning meal for your bird, you want to be having like half vegetables and half sprouts or soaked items. That's usually the best kind of ratio. We've talked about kind of portion sizes before. It's 1 tablespoon per meal for small birds, 2 tablespoons per meal for medium birds, 3 tablespoons per meal for larger birds. But typically that's a rough ratio. And then for the dry mix in the evening, I've got my recipes on the channel, but we try to have a really varied dry mix, so it's not just a huge bundle of spices or just a huge bundle of seed or a huge bundle of freeze-dried vegetables. There's like a little bit of everything. I do take that into consideration when I'm picking my ingredients. But that's usually the best ratio. People are probably wondering about fruit. Again, we don't recommend huge amounts of fruit for the majority of parrot species anyway, because it's not needed. Again, people could like kind of bundle together fruit and vegetables when they're quite different in what they provide to our birds. So again, in the morning meal, we'll provide a small piece or 2 small pieces of fruit as the fresh bit. So typically in the morning, half sprouts or soaked items, and then half vegetables. Hopefully that makes sense. Lots of love for Charlie in the chat. He's so cheeky. He's just chilling out on top of Olive's cage. It's his favourite place to be. He doesn't even sit on top of his own cage. He just wants to be with Olive. Not that that's a spoiler. If you want to know about their next bonding journey, again, you'll have to check that out on Patreon tomorrow. Will you be running another parrot nutrition class anytime soon? So for those of you who have been around for a little while, you'll know that David and I ran our nutritional enrichment course not too long ago. Was it last month? It's just, this year's going really weird. Recently, yeah, we did our parrot nutritional enrichment course. We absolutely loved it. It was a live cohort and it was awesome. What we are planning to do now, once we actually have like a few minutes to spare, is we are going to record David and I presenting the course, and we will pop it up in our Shopify shop so that you guys can buy it for a discounted price and have the recording instead. Those of you who already attended the course will be in touch, because obviously you've already paid for that, so you'll have access to the recording as and when that happens. But we won't be doing a live one of that. We have instead got another course in the pipeline, which is going to be sort of training basics. And then obviously we'll kind of snowball from there. We've got other things that we just need like 5 minutes just to actually do. And obviously we have a lot of birds to look after. So it's all about kind of work-life birds management. But yeah, we've got lots of different plans for different courses and things like that. So keep your eyes peeled. Follow us on all the various socials to find out about that. I try and put it on YouTube community tabs as well, but sometimes, again, you just randomly get shadow banned on there and then no one sees your post. So all very weird. Again, if you want kind of up-to-date kind of notifications on here, there is a notification bell on my channel and on every video as well. If you click that and select all notifications, you'll always get an email when anything goes out, whether that's community posts, shorts, I think, maybe not, I don't know, videos, that kind of stuff. And that's the best way to find out when my content goes out, because not everyone always sees it when it first goes out. Let's have a look. Crimson belly sounds like the cats of the bird world. Oh yeah, 100%. Like one of Kipling's favourite things to do is to go along David's desk and throw everything on the floor like a cat would, just like swiping it. So the mouse goes on the floor, camera batteries, mobiles, everything goes on the floor, just like a cat. I haven't seen Charlie do it yet, but I'm sure he'll be well up for it. And I may actually put Charlie back in a minute and maybe get Chip and Fish out, maybe. Just because, you know, Charlie, he's not even in shot, he's just hanging out over there. And that's not very fun. We want it to be bird packed. So if he's quite happy just relaxing, I think, yeah, we'll go and get Chip and Fish out in a second. Do one more question before I do. If you do have any other questions, drop them down in the chat and I will get to you in a second. 2 green chick conures, formula fed, now almost 3 months old. They fight sometimes, or one plays too rough. Will they fight in the future? So if they come from the same clutch, a lot of conures will just do a bit of rough play. You obviously want to be supervising them as much as you can anyway, and reducing hormones and overstimulation and things that trigger overstimulation to reduce rough play. Typically, it's kind of a thing where they're setting boundaries. So when you're bonding any birds, even from the same kind of clutch, you want to be stepping in when it goes too far, but also kind of allowing them to tell each other if it's going a bit too far. Like, you want them to understand each other's body language and say, okay, this is too much, which is what we did with Pickles and Scampi and that kind of thing. So it's a case of seeing how they go. They're still little youngsters though, so that, yeah, see how they go. All right, let's put Charlie back. Let's get his pine nut. He always gets a pine nut for going home. Let's see if he's going to behave. Put your answers in the comments if you think he's going to behave or not. Right, Charlie there. I haven't even put your water back in, have I? Terrible. Let's get your water. Let's put that in. What have I got for you? What's this? What, nut nut? Do you want a nut nut? You coming? Are you coming? Come on then. He's like, I'm too relaxed with him. Do you want this or not? What is it? Come on then. A little bit further. Come on then. Charlie. Well, he's decided that he's staying out today, guys. Are you coming? Did you have too many treats with me now? You don't want it? Come in. There's a good boy. Oh, good boy, Charlie. So if you guys didn't see, he did bite me then. I think he didn't really want to go home. He wanted to just hang out on top of Olive's cage. When he did bite me, I didn't react. I just stayed nice and still. Again, still giving him the opportunity to step up, which he did. And now he's gone back home. Everything's fine. So let's go and get you some fish. Oh, good boy, pooping in your cage before you come out. Yeah, okay. Here we go. It's the big boss man. It's baby shush shush. Oh, we know that there's snacks. Okay. Bye-bye. Would you like to say hello to everybody first? I'm probably really behind on the chat now as well. Say hello. Who is that? Is that you? Oh my goodness. What a handsome boy you are. Say hello, world. It's me. Baby shush shush. He absolutely loves seeing himself on the live stream. He doesn't care about like videos on phones, on like David's PC. But for some reason, anytime it's live stream time, he loves it. Don't you? You big nasty boy. Is that who you are? I'll let him have a snack now. Here you go. And let's have a look at the chat. Where's my mouse? Oh, every time I scroll, it just like zooms down. Yeah, budgies are amazing. We're excited to hopefully add budgies to our flock in the future. And in terms of having Olive and Charlie out, we're keeping it a secret about how they react, because they have had their first outing. I can't even see Chip and Fish now. And they have had their first outing together out of the cage, and it's going on Patreon tomorrow, so you will be able to see that. And then maybe on the next live stream we can show you what we mean about it. But again, if you want to know what's going on, it's going on Patreon tomorrow. Are there any living plants that would be safe around the birds? There are lots of bird safe plants and lots of toxic plants for birds. I do have like a master list of like 1,400 things that are safe and or toxic. So if you would like that, I say this every live stream actually. Maybe somebody DM me on Instagram, somebody remind me. I'll put it on my community tab on YouTube, so everybody could see it. But yes, there are lots of different options. I mean, one of the easiest ones, if you want kind of a simple plant that's useful, you could get some fresh herbs and start from there and see how your birds respond to them as well. Because sometimes birds won't be interested, and that's good. But I would never recommend having anything that's considered toxic or might give them digestive upset around in the home. We have 2 plants in the house. We have an aloe vera plant and a money plant, which is like a large succulent. Neither would be toxic if the birds chewed on them, but they just live in the kitchen, and that's just the way it is. Again, in the future, we'd love to have, outside aviaries where we have some planting and stuff like that. But that's a little way off yet. So, yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, training basics is going to be our next course. Really excited for it. Do you have to be a patron of Patreon to get the courses? No, the courses are available to everybody, but our Patreon members do get discount codes for our courses. So that's we like to give our patrons perks, which is why they get to see the Charlie and Olive bonding first, that kind of thing. So no, you don't have to be a patron to access the courses. Again, if you ever want to know when they're going out, it's best to follow us on all the various socials and turn on notifications for YouTube as well, because then you'll be informed as to when things are going up. But we always give a fair amount of time before the courses start, so everyone has a chance to book and that kind of thing. And as I said, the nutrition enrichment one is going to be a recording, so you can, if you want to, you can purchase that at any time. I'm slowly catching up on the chat, so again, if anyone has any questions, just drop them in. How much does a course cost? So our last course, the nutrition enrichment one, was 90 minutes, and that was £15. I don't know what that is in dollars. If anybody knows, anyone who bought the course knows, I want to guess. I'm not even going to guess because money is just weird at the moment with exchange rates and stuff. So it's £15, and then it was £10 for Patreon members. They got a £5 off. So if anyone wants to do the conversions for euros or dollars or whatever for anyone in the chat, then feel free. But that's the standard price for the live courses. The recordings are going to be cheaper than that. And as I said, the people who've already attended will get that recording for free anyway. And then we'll have other bits and pieces coming out. But we want to make the stuff as affordable as possible. But obviously we are physically working to create this content, which is why we do charge a fee. But we want to make everything that we create as affordable as possible. The majority of our content is 100% free here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Although, funny story, I put so much effort into making a day in the life of a zookeeper TikTok today, and I seem to, again, I don't know why the internet hates me. I seem to have got shadow banned on TikTok. I made it like 2 hours ago, and it's had no views and like nothing at all. It's not appearing on different places, so that's fun. So I wasted all that effort. Maybe it's just me. I'm too old for TikTok. Maybe I've just done it wrong. I love all the Easter grass on the perch behind you. Yes, I went a little bit wild. Easter is a perfect time if you want to get lots of crinkle paper for your birds that's safe. Easter is the perfect time. I know it's already been and gone, but I kind of posted it on socials because not only is it like readily available, because Easter grass that's made for children's crafts is perfectly safe for birds because it's not made with toxic materials. But also after Easter, there's always sales on the crafting materials. So I did go a little bit wild. This is the sort of thing I'd spend my money on. I don't buy designer clothes or perfumes. I buy crafting material for shredding paper for the birds. But yeah, I got a lot. I mean, we have 8 birds, so, And also, we used to use Carefresh on the base of this and in our foraging tray and stuff like that. But I went to go and buy a new bale. First, it's gone up by £8. So it's like got up a third in cost, which is just astronomical as cost of living crisis. But also, a lot of the recent reviews said that Carefresh is really dusty at the moment. And obviously, I'm not going to take that risk with the birds. It's supposed to be dust-free. So I don't recommend Carefresh. We are going to be using Easy Chick. Obviously, you guys know I'm an Easy Chick ambassador, so we'll be using that in foraging trays and on there as well. But we also are going to use up this Easter grass that I have a lot of because it's fun and the birds like being down there, and yeah, it's all good fun. have a look. I'm really behind on the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Normally I have David here to help me, but he's not in at the moment. So bear with me because the text is really small. I had to separate my teals. I woke up to find them in a bloody fight. Yes, sometimes birds will fight. Sometimes you have to. It's always a slight risk when you mix any birds, but we do a lot of heavy bonding work before we mix any of ours, and we make sure that there's multiple resources and space and all that kind of stuff to make sure that the risk of fighting is minimal. Again, managing hormones, that sort of thing. So I'm sorry to hear that happen with your birds. Yeah, Fish is the biggest boy in all the land. He's a very big teal, but we love him. We all come in different shapes and sizes, and Fish is big boned, shall we say. Hi Guy, I'm doing all right. I've got a banging headache. My eyes are really sore today, but it's all good. We're all here together, we're all hanging out. It's fine. Not announcing anything, just talking about the Patreon video that's going up tomorrow, which I know you'll be able to see, which is going to be the Olive and Charlie bonding. Yeah, Fish knows. Everybody loves Fish. Do you want to come back over? Say hello. Baby shush shush. He's the biggest boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what have you got to say for yourself? Everyone's really talkative today, aren't they? Oh my goodness. YouTube doesn't like people commenting links lately. Yeah, don't go on the keyboard. Yeah, sometimes YouTube gets a bit funny with that. I think they're just expecting it to be spam, which is why they can sometimes block comments. Very weird. Lots of weird algorithm changes at the moment, which is not something we're fans of, but such is life. We make do. Oh my goodness. What time will the new Patreon video be available? I'm not 100% sure yet. Maybe lunchtime. I have edited it. I edited it today. I haven't done the thumbnail yet. Yes, have I? But I'm expecting it to go up probably lunchtime. Depends if it takes a long time. Sometimes Patreon's really weird. When you upload videos on there, it can take a really long time, or it can be nice and quick. So we'll see. But it's coming tomorrow. Oh dear. I'm sorry if that's annoying any of your birds out there, but I think there's some pigeons outside, and apparently that's unacceptable. Couldn't find crinkle paper anywhere. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to find. I got most of my crinkle paper in the supermarket or in just like a general, I don't know what you call it, a general store. It's called the Range in the UK. It just has like a bit of everything really. Yesterday, my hormonal friend broke a blood feather. She pulled it out and didn't seem phased. Is this normal? So obviously it's unfortunate when birds break blood feathers. It's not nice. There is a lot of blood in there because when the feathers are growing in, they are like live. There is a blood vessel attached, and that can be quite scary when they do break a blood feather. So a few things that you can bear in mind. Firstly, have your bird first aid kit ready, so you've got everything that you need in case that happens, such as corn flour to clot the bleeding if necessary, and anything like that. We recommend Guardian Angel as well, which is a sick bird supplement, which can just kind of give you a bit of a pick-me-up as well if they've had a stressful experience. Have all the info for your avian vet on hand as well in case you do need to go. However, I will say that a lot of people freak out with blood feathers, and I understand why, but more often than not, unless it's like there's a lot of stuff I don't want to say too much, I don't want to get like graphic and freak people out. If there's a lot of stuff coming out and it isn't stopping and isn't clotting, then you would need to go and see a vet. But more often than not, the blood feathers that we've had, it stops and then it kind of caps off, and then the feather will come out, or the bird will remove the feather themselves. So a blood feather isn't always a massive emergency. I know a lot of times online, you read online, it's like, if there's a blood feather, go to the vet. And that's not always the case. But again, if you're an inexperienced owner or you are not confident, or it would give you peace of mind to go to the vet, that's totally fine. But from our experience, it's not something to freak out over necessarily if you can control the response. So I just wanted to put that out there because, again, sometimes kind of misinformation and people just kind of freaking out. And I understand because, we don't want our birds to be in any pain or anything like that. What are you drinking? It looks fresh and sweet. I'm drinking summer fruit squash. Let's have a little sip now. It's kind of my drink of choice. It's just like, I don't know what you call it in different parts of the world. It's like concentrated, sugar-free juice that you dilute with water. It's kind of like my staple drink. Also like a coffee, Pepsi Max, that kind of thing. But my staple drink, I drink a lot of summer fruit squash. It kind of is strawberry raspberry flavour, and it's nice. I have a sweet beak myself, and I always use a straw because I'm just paranoid about ruining my teeth, even though it's sugar-free. I wish Easy Chick was in the US too. Yeah, I know. I've told them multiple times, and I tell you guys all the time, if you were in another part of the world, please, please, please email Easy Chick and tell them that you want it. I've told them so many times that please try and get it in another part of the world. I think the slight issue is the organic thing that they use to make the Easy Chick bacteria free. They have a patent for it in the UK, but obviously you have to apply for a patent in the US, and there's just a whole can of worms that you open when you try and do that, which I think is the main issue why they haven't done it so far. But the more pressure you guys put onto them, the more likely it's going to be available in other parts of the world. Because I would love for Easy Chick to be available in lots of different parts of the world, because it is the best bedding. And I don't just say that because I'm a brand ambassador. You know, we were using Easy Chick before that happened. And it's amazing, and I could not go back to non-substrate. But again, as I've mentioned, if you can't access Easy Chick where you are in the world, just go for small animal bedding that is dust-free and is unscented, and it's usually pine or aspen shavings. So just in like the small animal section for rabbits, guinea pigs, that sort of thing, just make sure that it is dust-free, unscented, untreated, that sort of thing. Love and hugs to you too, Gina. Yeah, my eye has been quite sore for the last couple of days. I changed the contact lens that I wear in there to theoretically reduce the pain that I have, but it's made it worse. Yeah, all good fun. But we put on a smile and we pretend there's nothing wrong when the birds are screaming. Dara, with your comment about Easy Chick, yeah, I really hope that one day it will be available in different parts of the world. There's probably logistics issues as well. You know, the US is a big place, as well as other parts of the world. Obviously, we're not just talking about the US here. I know that a lot of people would love to have Easy Chick in different parts of the world. But yeah, just keep telling them. Just every day, just tell them, and maybe it will happen. Because I know that if it was available, for example, in the US, I know it would do really well because so many people tell me that they want it. So maybe we'll see. Can you use Easy Chick with big parrots? Yeah, no reason not to. Obviously, when you have larger spaces, you would use more. But one of the things I've been thinking of, because again, as I mentioned, we would love to move somewhere bigger. We would love to have indoor aviaries for each set of birds, and then an outdoor aviary where they can get some sunshine, that kind of thing. When that happens, I suspect what we will do is have like half the aviary being Easy Chick, and then half I don't know what you call it, like a wood flooring, or you know, something wipeable, because obviously using the entire thing with Easy Chick and then cleaning it out once a week is going to add up to a lot of Easy Chick. So I think splitting in half would be a good idea, so the birds still get the benefit of foraging and substrate and that kind of thing, and then half of it's easy to clean. That's just my thoughts. We're a long way off that yet, as I said, because every social media platform, apart from Instagram, seems to be shadow banning me. So share with your friends. It's happening all across the board. Since YouTube introduced YouTube Shorts, they're probably going to shadow ban me for saying it on here now. Since YouTube introduced YouTube Shorts, all of the long form content has taken a nosedive, and it's really hard to get seen. Anyway, I won't bore you with that, guys. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'll still be around for a little bit. So do drop your parrot or other related questions in the chat. And I am trying my very best. I apologise if I missed anything. So just drop it again, because as I said, it's hard to keep up. And you might be able to hear Louis. He keeps saying, Kipling, Kipling, Kipling. Yeah, every when I say dust free, every substrate is going to have a tiny bit of dust because it's inevitable when materials are rubbing against each other with friction. It's natural that something is going to happen. But when you compare a dust-free product like Easy Chick to a non-dust-free, it's a lot. And when we talk about dusty, here comes GB. He's that big boy having his rough molt with his lack of crest and his lack of tail. His tail's so short he looks like a conure. What do you want? Do you want petty pets? Shall we see if you want some petty pets? No. Okay. I thought we were going to do something cute then. What do you want? Okay. Bye-bye. Just checking in, apparently. Yeah, there's always going to be a slight bit of dust because we can't avoid dust in general, but dust-free things generally are better. How old are chip and fish? How old are you? 4? They're 4. Yeah, they're 4 years old. Their birthday is roughly December time. We kind of know roughly most of the birds' birthdays. So they're roughly the start of December. Olive is Boxing Day, 26th of December. Scampi, we're not quite sure. So we kind of just say him and Pickles as well is kind of December. We just bung them all together. Lou and Kips were in February, I think. I've got them written down somewhere. They had theirs recently. And then Charlie's is coming up on the 6th of May. I think it's the 6th of May. So we will celebrate his 4th birthday then, which is all very exciting. So yeah, they're little babies still in my eyes. They've always been my babies. Everyone is like baby Chip Chip, baby Fish Fish, baby Olive, baby Charlie. Everyone's baby and they always will be. I never had a good look at Easy Chick, but it seems like really thin pieces of wood. Won't those fly all over the place if the birds flap their wings? No, that's actually one of the benefits of Easy Chick is it doesn't blow around. Obviously, there's going to be some like moving around and stuff like that, but no, that is actually one of the selling points of the. It's not like the wood isn't like flat thin. It's just small chunk. It's really hard to explain. Small chunks, so no, it doesn't blow around. But Pickles loves to kick it out of the cage. She's quite cheeky. So with Scampi and Pickles, we've adjusted that because she was just kicking out like the entire bed onto the floor, which is great fun for our Hoover. Like, please stop. So we now give about half Easy Chick bed to Scampi and Pickles, and then they have paper on either side. Just because, yeah, we're just going through so much bedding and she just loves to kick it out. So this way it's a bit more manageable. Right, let's have a look. I'd love to put substrate at the bottom of my cage, but I have a diggy African grey. Yeah, African greys do love to dig, don't they? You could do a like partial substrate or like a foraging tray at the base of the cage where there's part kind of substrate and then part whatever else you have on the base of the cage. That's a good compromise sometimes. Do something cute with the cockatiels, please. I mean, they don't really need to do anything in particular, do you? You just need to be here and be cute. Should we see if you're wave, Chip? Where do you want to go? You want to go up there? Anywhere you like. Can you wave? Can you wave? Again, you chibi wave. Oh, you smart man. I don't know if anyone saw that. I've lost my treats as well. Well, that's good. There they are. Smart man. You don't even want your treat. Should we try and do it again? What's this? Can you say, hello, everybody? Say hello. That was a very poor wave, wasn't it, Chip Chip? Are you getting camera shy? Come here. Come here. Can we shake? Good boy. That's about as far as we're going to go with that because I think Chibi is getting a bit camera shy, especially being a boss man. But, you know, they don't need to do anything particular to be cute. They just are. Good question from Andrew. At what age does training a bird become near impossible? Is that a thing? I've just inherited a budgie who's anywhere from 4 to 6 years old, and I'm worried that he's set in his ways and won't be tamed. Massive misconception that you can't train an old bird, old dog, you know, that old saying, a new tricks. You can train any animal of any age. It is not an issue. All you have to do is make sure you're finding the right reinforcer and you are setting the training situation up for success. For example, you may need to train before breakfast because then they are naturally hungrier. We never want our birds to starve, but if they are naturally hungrier, they're maybe more receptive to training if you haven't got a strong bond, and just making the situation easier for them to actually want to train. Again, you know, if you're using, let me use a good example here. So if you're doing target training, for example, this is kind of weird on the screen. This is Charlie's target stick. This is what it came with. It's a chopstick. That's fine. Charlie likes that. With chip and fish, they're not going to like that. It's really big and they haven't seen it before. They instead prefer this little thing, which is a little paper party stick from Northern Parrots. Again, massive difference. This is small, maybe less intimidating than something like this. Or those target sticks where you get the big ball on the end. A lot of birds, especially budgies, don't like that. So that's something to bear in mind with any training, is trying to set your bird up for success and thinking, how can I make this as easy as possible for them to be successful in their training? Hopefully that makes sense. But yes, any bird of any age, doesn't matter how old they are, they can absolutely learn new things. Do cockatiel bites hurt? Sometimes, not often, not like a conure bite, that's for sure. But the end of the beak is sharp, so absolutely, if they really want to, they can hurt you. But our cockatiels have never drawn blood. Conures, on the other hand, yeah, they've had their fill of human flesh, should we say. Right. What's the oldest bird to ever live? Oh, I have seen a few of these. I'm sure there was something about a macaw or a cockatoo living to like 90 to 100 or something. Obviously, there's going to be different influences in that, and I'm amazed that some birds live to that grand age, given some care that's given to them. But yeah, I'm sure that there's been some that have lived to about 90, maybe even 100, which is incredible that these, small creatures can live so long. And that's one of the endearing things about them, is if we are able to, they can live for a really long time. But obviously there are situations where that doesn't happen for one reason or another. Accidents happen. Sometimes breeding stock means that, they're predisposed to other things. Sometimes life happens and that sucks, but that's why we cherish every moment with them. I know I do. They are the reason I get out of bed in the morning, both, figuratively and mentally and emotionally. They are the reason why I get out of bed in the morning, because they scream, but I love them. Yeah, I'm sure there's like a macaw that lived a really long time, but yeah, it's really cool. And I've seen cockatiels that live into their 30s, which is just insane, because the average lifespan of a cockatiel is 20 to 25 years, which is a really long time. But over 30 is so cool. Even conures living 30s, sometimes even 40s, which is just crazy and amazing. And yeah, birds are definitely a gift to our souls. I'm not a spiritual person, but they do fill my heart with joy, my cold dead heart with joy. But no, they are wonderful. Should we come and say hello? I think we're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes, guys. So I appreciate all of you being here for the live stream today. Oh, and Fish. Fish is happy too. And Chibi, are you happy, boy? Oh. When they're like this, I call them Bark Simpsons, because you Bark Simpson. Oh my goodness. Cheeky Gina, you're naughty. Part of the naughty club once again. Thank you very, very much for your very, very generous offerings. Very kind of you again. Don't expect stuff like that on the live streams. We're just here to hang out, aren't we? But thank you very, very much all the time. Love and hugs to you, because you are wonderful. Very, very kind. Best way to encourage scritches from Adara. Just respecting body language sometimes. Alice. Right, Gina and Alice are in the naughty club. Thank you very much, Alice. It's very, very kind of you. You guys are just super generous, and yeah, we don't expect it, so thank you. I always feel a bit awkward, because I'm just like, yeah, I don't expect it, but thank you very, very much to both of you. What am I talking about? Scritches. Yeah, I kind of just offer a hand like that. See how they feel. If they try and bite you, back away. David's got his video on how to pet and cuddle birds, which includes contact training, which we talk about a lot, which is encouraging a bird to be used to your hands, kind of approaching and reinforcing for calm, and being neutral when they are erratic and stuff like that. But I recommend checking out David's video. It's called How to Pet and Hug Your Bird, I think. And if you don't know who David is, again, because some people just have no idea, his username is the Parrot Teacher. He is my fiance. He creates parrot content too, so I highly recommend you go and check him out. And he's got that video on there. I often struggle to understand my birds, especially their vocalizations. How do you guys discover what they're trying to say? Experience, I guess, being exposed to a lot of birds, situational stuff, understanding why they're doing things in different situations. The problem with parrots is a lot of what they do can mean more than one thing. So again, that's why looking at the wider picture sometimes it's really important. And yeah, it just comes from experience and consequence and things like that. So I don't have a strong answer. David is actually doing a generic parrot body language video soon, and maybe even do sounds as well. Because again, not everyone always watches like cockatiel behaviour, conure behaviour, even though a lot of those are behaviours that a lot of parrots will do. So stick around for that as well, because that'll be a very useful video. In terms of my videos coming up, I said cribbins and belly content. I've got loads of DIYs coming up. And things like that. But if you ever have any suggestions of what you'd like to see on my channel, please always drop me a comment, DM, email, whatever you like, wherever you find me. Let me know what you want to see. You're most welcome, Andrew. I'm glad that you are enjoying the live stream and things like that. And Laura is now part of the Naughty Club. Thank you very much, Laura. Again, you guys, you're very, very kind, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, let alone being so generous. So thank you very, very much for doing that. And you know, times are tough and stuff, so I really don't, I don't expect stuff like this. So it's very, very kind of you, and thank you. And all of this stuff, it just goes to the birds. It goes on these guys. So I'm sure they'll be very appreciative and thankful as well. Let me having a look. Andrea, I have 3 untamed cockatiels. What would be the best way of going about taming them, please? I would recommend watching my video on how to tame and bond with your cockatiel. It's one of my popular videos on my channel. I also have a video on trust. So those 2 videos, if you can't find them, drop me an email, message, whatever you like, and I will send you the links. But those, they've kind of got the foundational elements of gaining your bird's trust and bonding and taming and things like that. I love how you guys just kind of help us in the chat as well, just directing people to different places. I appreciate this whole community. And as I mentioned before, for anyone who does sign up to Patreon, firstly, we've got that video coming out, Olive and Charlie's bonding. It's a very, very worthwhile watch. Don't want to give away any spoilers, but as part of Patreon, you get access to our Discord community, which is a live chat server where you can chat to like-minded people like us in a safe space. We chat about all kinds of stuff from ourselves to lots and lots of bird things, get lots of help and advice on there. So if that's something that is interesting to you, then my Patreon links are always on various places, or again, anytime, just drop me a message. I reply to everything as long as it's not mean. You don't have to be naughty, Adara. I don't expect it. Guys, times are tough. I really, really appreciate anytime anyone does want to be naughty and send anything over, but I do not expect it, honestly. I just appreciate you being here. Yeah, the stream's always available to rewatch. I think it goes live as soon as I press stop. So, yeah. Laura, so naughty. Love you all, guys. Yeah, Dara, your place is still in the Naughty Club. It's reserved, but you don't have to send anything over. Honestly, I don't expect it. But I think, oh yeah, definitely check in for the beginning of the stream if you've missed it, guys, because Charlie was so funny. It just really threw me off because he just doesn't stop talking. But I think I'm probably going to leave it there today, guys. So yeah, as I said, I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. Just come here. You come in. Come and say goodbye to everybody. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming today. It's been lovely. It's lovely as always to chat to you guys. I hope you found this live entertaining, useful. Whatever you've got out of it, I hope it's been positive. And yeah, I just really great fun. So don't forget to check out my channel. Quite often people message me saying, you know, how do I do this? And there will be lots of videos on my channel or David's channel, who's just come through the door. So there's going to be screaming shortly, I imagine. But yes, thank you so much for coming, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here today and for being part of this community. It's been a pleasure, as always. And I hope you have an amazing rest of the day and rest of the weekend as well. So see you later, guys. Take care.